Hello, I'm Paul Chek, and welcome to Eat, Move, and Be Healthy, a spiritual companion. Welcome to my institute. You are here in my library with me, and I'd like to use my blackboard to share with you what love is. In this presentation, I'm going to show you that love is essentially all there is. I'm sure some of you have heard that before, and I know it probably sounds a little fluffy. I can understand. I used to think that way too. But after years and years of spiritual research and hard knocks and understanding life, I grew to the point where I actually understood what love really means. And when I understood what love really means, I also understood the importance of sharing it with other people, which is why I'm here with you now. So my goal for this presentation is to help you understand what it really means to be spiritual and what it means truly to eat, to move, and to be healthy. So let's begin with learning objective number 1. What does it mean to be spiritual? In my definition, a spiritual person is a person who takes responsibility for what they create moment to moment. I think anything else is just misleading. There's many people running around in religions or claiming this affiliation or that affiliation, but clearly, as Jesus is recorded to have said, by their fruits you shall know them. The spiritual person is not somebody that needs participation in the religious sect. The spiritual person knows that it is not the creed you profess, but the life you live that ultimately determines whether or not you are spiritual. That also means whether or not you love and are in love. The reality of it is, as I'll show you, we're all in love. The question is, do we know it? Does the fish know it's in water? Does the bird know it's in the air? These are questions that people seldom ponder. As the fish may not know it's in water, and the bird may not know it's in the air, I will show you that many people don't know they're in love. For those of you that understand what the term God means, which in my use of the term simply means all, capital A-L-L, love is God. I want to make a distinction. When I say love is God, that is much, much more of an accurate representation of what God is than to say God is love. Each of us only knows love as what our experience of love is. Many of us were raised in abusive families where we were physically abused, such as getting whipped for misbehaving, while your parents were saying, I do this because I love you. And therefore, our idea of love may have a lot of pain attached to it, emanating from our childhood. Some people were sexually abused, where the word love was used. So whenever someone says, I love you, it sets off all sorts of alarm bells and whistles for them. You can clearly see, just by watching the news, that religious wars are common. Religious wars have killed more people than any form of death ever to hit the planet. Yet all these religions claim God is love. And their behavior, as Jesus supposedly said, by their fruits you shall know them. The fruits are the behavior. Their behavior clearly identifies the level of love that they operate at. And to the degree that we see love and know love, we see God and know God. Your expression of self, your behavior, is your physical document, your physical certification of how much love exists in your life and how much love you are. And that is a fact for each of us. Next, let us begin our journey into the spiritual companion for how to eat, move, and be healthy by learning what love really is. The first letter in the word love, L, stands for life. And life is something that you live. Anybody that's alive is living. So life is what you live. O is not actually an O. It's a 0 or a neutral sign in electronics. A 0 or a circle with a hash on either side of it, or sometimes a line through it, represents neutral polarity or an insulator, for example. Next, let's look at VE. VE stands for volt electron. An electron is a negatively charged particle. Electrons produce electromotive force. Electrons move in a circuit and allow your hairdryer to run, your washer to wash your clothes, and electrical appliances to function due to electricity moving through a circuit. Life is the equivalent of desire. You must have the desire to live. You do have the desire to live. I can prove that to you. Try to hold your breath for 3 minutes. And usually within about 60 seconds, you will feel how powerful the desire to live is. And while you're doing that, if you can't hold your breath for 3 minutes, you might want to meditate on this. If you can't stop your own breath, who is breathing through you? Who's in charge of your breathing if it's not you?